welcome to the class 6 for the essay idea discussion. And the topic that we have today for our discussion is related to the merits and demerits. If you compare the class 6 with the previous class, today we just have to discuss pros and cons. But in the class 5, we had to compare and give an answer whether the situation was positive or negative. So that is the difference that in some essays, the examiner would ask you only to discuss the merits and demerits, such as in this question, they have asked discuss pros and cons of something. So they have not asked you to compare, they have not asked which side outweighs or outnumbers or which side is bigger. So in this type of essays, you just need to make four paragraphs, one for the introduction, body para 1 for positive side, body para 2 for negative side, and then the conclusion. So again, I would just warn you that in your exam, if you find a positive and negative essay, you have to make sure whether it is a discussion type essay or a comparison type essay. If it is a discussion type essay like today's, then you just have to make two body paragraphs. But if it is a comparative essay, I mean they just want to know which side is bigger, whether it's positive or negative development, then you have to make three body paragraphs. For that type of essay, you may re-listen to the class number 5 so that you can clearly understand the difference between the comparison of positive and negative sides and the simple discussion of positive and negative side. Now, after clarification of this thing, let us read the topic. The topic says, now the machine is very complex. A lot of difficult work is automated. Discuss pros and cons of machine development. So they are not talking about artificially intelligent machines, they're just talking about complex machines. Of course, there is a topic related to artificial machines also, but that's a different topic and that would have different set of ideas. So here they're just talking about a complex machine. But if you read the topic carefully, they have never mentioned or nowhere mentioned whether that machine is being used in the industries, offices, or at the home. So as a candidate, you may start thinking about ideas related to both the sectors, both for the industry and for the house. So we need to know that when the machines are doing the work automatically, what would be the positive impact of it? So in your body paragraph number 1, we will be thinking about two main ideas related to the positive impacts. So I think that the first positive impact at industrial level is that efficiency is increased. And you might develop this idea by saying that lot of employees are required, whether the work is of a skilled labor or a semi-skilled labor, but in order to get a work done by the manual labor, it requires a number of hours and a number of workers. Instead, if there is an automatic machine that would do that work in 1/10 of the time, much faster than the manual labor. So it is possible to have mass production in the industries, and that would lead to economies of scale and thus more profit to the companies. And for the second point, you may write that at domestic level, people get a lot of free time. So if the machines are used at homes, for example, we use washing machines or vacuum cleaners that are automatic vacuum cleaners or dishwashers, then of course it will free the time that people in the house are doing or using for doing their laundry or doing their dishes or cleaning their houses. So in that free time, they may put that time to a constructive use. For example, the people might take rest or they might entertain themselves, they might socialize, they might do some extra work that is related to their money. So in this way, we would write 1 point each for industrial benefit and for the benefit at the home. And in the second body paragraph, you will be thinking about negative ideas. So the first negative impact is that if there are so many automatic machines in the industry, it may render skilled labor jobless. Many of the people who do the work manually, I mean with their hands, if they have any vocational skill, then their work will be substituted by the machines. So those people would not be required in the industries in the future, hence they might get unemployed. And for example, in the car manufacturing industry, earlier painters or the people who used to work on the assembly line, they used to assemble all the parts of the cars. They used to polish or give the final coating of the paint to the cars. Lot of people were required. All of them were skilled, but nowadays everything has been automated, and a car is painted or even assembled by the machines or robotic arms itself. So many of the people who worked in the automobile industry are now unemployed. So that is the biggest impact, the negative impact that automation can have. And for the second idea, you may say that at the personal level, it may lead to sedentary lifestyles. Because if in a house, most of the work is done by machines, for example, laundry is being done by the washing machines, the dishes are done by the dishwasher, the cooking mostly is done by the food processor, then of course the homestay member, for example, there's a homestay mother or anybody who is responsible for the household chores, would be really free. And these activities, the household chores, are an indirect form of physical exercise only. But if the machines are doing the work on their part, then of course the person would be really inactive, would not have much of the physical exercise, which may lead to a number of issues, such as it may lead to boredom, obesity, or joint aches. So, machine automation, both at industry and at the home, can have negative impacts. After discussing both these paragraphs, you would be just concluding your essay saying that the machine automation may either have the positive impact in the industries and at home, but it can also have some of the concerns which need to be minimized so as to reap the benefits. As a student, you must understand that you do not need to create any body para 3 for comparison of these aspects. But whenever it is required in the other types of essays, if you miss them, you would not get a 7 band on your task 2. I hope that you understand the difference between the discussion and comparison type essays for merits and demerits, and also understand the ideas that we just discussed for this topic on hand. Thank you. See you in the next class.